In 1958, archaeologists started digging in Turkey. They found a city, buried under 9,000 years of dirt. 10,000 people lived there for 1,400 years. But when they uncovered it, they realized something was wrong. There were no streets, no doors, no windows. The houses were stacked together like a honeycomb, shoulder to shoulder, roof to roof, and the only way in, through a hole in the ceiling. You'd climb down a ladder, into your home, in the dark. This wasn't a village, it was a puzzle, a city that shouldn't exist. And after 1,400 years, they just left. We still don't know why. The place is called Çatalhöyük, and it's one of the oldest cities ever found. 9,000 years ago, while most humans were still hunting and gathering, these people built a city of 10,000. But they built it differently. Imagine waking up in your home. There's no front door, no hallway, no windows looking out onto the street, because there is no street. Your house is pressed against your neighbor's house, wall to wall, like cells in a beehive. The only way out? Climb a ladder, through a hole in your roof, onto the rooftop. And that's where life happened. On the roofs, you'd walk across the city, roof to roof, above the ground, like a second world stacked on top of the first. The ground wasn't for walking. It was for building. Archaeologists found cooking fires. Inside the homes, they found murals, paintings of bulls and leopards. On the walls, in the dark, they found the dead, buried under the floors, right beneath where people slept. You'd eat, sleep, and live directly above your ancestors. There were no public spaces, no town squares, no markets. Every family lived in identical houses, same size, same layout. No one had more than anyone else. And when a house got old, they didn't tear it down. They filled it with dirt, sealed it up, and built a new house on top of it. Layer after layer, generation after generation. The city grew upward, like a living organism, building on its own bones. For 1,400 years, this is how they lived. And then, they stopped. Around 5,600 BCE, the people of Çatalhöyük left. No war, no disaster, no evidence of collapse. They just walked away. Archaeologists don't know why. Some think the city grew too dense, too claustrophobic. Imagine living your entire life stepping over your neighbor's roof to get anywhere. Others think their farming depleted the soil. The rivers shifted. The land gave out. Or maybe they wanted something different. Streets, doors, space. Because after Çatalhöyük, no one ever built cities like this again. The next civilizations, Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, they all had streets, doorways, public spaces. It's like humanity tried this experiment, lived in it for 1,400 years, and decided never again. We take streets for granted, doors, windows, the idea that you can walk outside and move freely. But those weren't always obvious. The people of Çatalhöyük saw the world differently. To them, a city wasn't a grid of roads and buildings. It was a dense, interconnected whole, where privacy didn't exist, where every wall touched another wall, where the only escape was up. Maybe that's why they left. Maybe living on top of each other literally became unbearable. Or maybe they just wanted to see what streets felt like. Either way, they left behind something no one has built since, a city that defied every rule we think cities need. And buried under the Turkish plains, it's still there, waiting. A reminder that the way we live now, it's not the only way. It's just the one we chose. Çatalhöyük lasted 1,400 years. That's longer than the Roman Empire, longer than the United States has existed. They built a world that worked for centuries, and then they walked away from it. Maybe that's the real mystery. Not how they lived, but why they stopped. What do you think happened to them? I'm Mind Mechanic Studios, where we fix what you didn't know was broken. The most important discoveries don't always announce themselves. Sometimes they've been waiting in plain sight.